Let me see. Is that you, you show it again?
Wait,
Ah, I see. It's multiplied fractions. I see. Is that paper? Okay. So, by the way, Aaron, my name is John. Again, you can call me Kuya John or Sir John or what you think. And so, and by the way, how old are you, Aaron?
11 years old,
11 years old. And what grade are you in?
6.
Grade 6. Okay. So, okay. I'll start create a whiteboard for it. Do you know how to do the fraction, the
A
multiplication
little bit.
fraction?
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay, that's fine. Let's go to whiteboard for one. Mhm. Mhm. Can you see the whiteboard now?
Oh, yes.
Yes. So before we start, let me ask you a question if you can answer this. Um, do you know how to answer this, Aaron?
Mm, like
Very smart.
this.
Yeah, I mean it's almost right, but let me correct where you were wrong. So you're almost right. You're almost right, actually. Um, let's start again. So it's like this. So we have this right one. So 1 and 3 are not the same. So we cannot cancel it with each other. However, 2 and 2 are the same. So we can cancel this, that, like that. However, these two, we cannot cancel it because 1 and 3 are not the same. So or let's just say they are not a factor of each other. So when we answer that, we just copy this 1 times 1 and then 1 times 3. So the answer for this is 1/3. So you are also actually almost right. So how about this? Another example. By the way, Aaron, if you think like my teaching is confusing or the number is confusing, you can always ask me how.
Okay.
So how about this? 2 times 3, 5. Can you answer this?
All right.
Okay, it's okay. That's correct. Yes, that's right. Yes, very good.
Is this correct?
It's almost correct, but you made an error in this way, but it's okay. It's small error only. So, for example, so for this problem, we have 2 4, right?
Right.
Times 3/5. This 3/5. So, when we solve this, um, first let's take into account this. Is 2 and 5 a factor of each other? Like,
No.
can we divide 5 by 2 without any remainders? No. So we will not cancel this with each other. How about 4 and 3? Can we divide 3 by 4? And can we do that? No, we can't because 4
Oh.
divided 3 is just 1 and 1/3, which is not a whole number. So if we want to cancel a number, we need first that it has to be um what you call this? It has to be a factor for each other. So for example, for this era, how about and 4? Is 2 and 4, are they a factor of each other? Yes, they are because we can divide 4 by 2, right? Yes. Let's just say another example. So, you may be wondering, Aaron, what is a factor, Kuya John or Sir John? So, a factor is like this. So, we have 2, right? For example is 2. A factor of 2, and then think of numbers that we can divide by 2. We can divide 2, right? 2 divide 2 is 1. Another is 1. Yeah, how about 3? For numbers 3, what numbers that if we divide by 3, the answer is a whole number? 2? 3, yes, exactly, 3. Another is more number, 1, right? Am I right? Or, yeah, how about 4? So 4. What numbers can we divide by 4 that the result would be a whole number? 2, 4, exactly. Another, 1, and more. Are there any numbers that we can divide by 4? Yes, very good. So, numbers like this are what we call as factors. So, for 4, the factor for 4 is 4, 1, and 2. So, based on this example, 3 is not a factor of 4. So, this and this, we cannot cancel this. So, we cannot do this to each other because it's not a factor. So, for example, another, how about for 5? Can you think of numbers that we can divide by 5 that we can get a whole number? Yes, very good. Another one, are there any numbers? Yes, 1. Very good. Wow, you're so smart. How about 6? Yeah, how about 6? 6, yes, very good. Are there more? Yes. And are there other more? Yes. Another? Do we have, can we divide 6 by other numbers? 6, 1, 3, and 2. Yes, wow. You're so smart. How about number 8? How about 8, Aaron? Can you think of numbers that we can divide by 8? 8, yes. 1, 4, and 2. Oh, how about this? Um, last number, 10. 10, yes. 5. Are there any more numbers? 2, yes. And 1. Yeah, forget about 1. Yeah, so that is basically what factoring is. So, do you understand this,
Yes.
Aaron? Okay, very good. So, let's go back to our question. So, for this, what you did was almost right, but The problem is what do you think is the problem here? What do you think what you did wrong here?
Uh,
You factored it right? Yeah, exactly. So for this question, so think of it this way. So if so we have two, so this and this, five. So for five, is five is for number five, is number two part of the factor of five? Let's say number five. So for five, two is not part of its factor. So we cannot so we cannot cancel this to each other. So we cannot do that because two is not a factor of five. So cannot. How about for four? Four and three. Is four a factor of three, Aaron? Now exactly. We will not include it. So you may ask me again, Kuya John, sir, how do we know that how do we know that how do we know that this number or this number what we should base? In this like this, we should always look at the bigger number, right? For example, this five and two. So which do you think is bigger, two or five?
five.
Five, right? So we will look at five here. We are created here, and five has no two, so we cannot factor it. So we're oh my gosh, where are we? Okay, there we are. Okay, so since we cannot factor it each other, we cannot divide it anymore. We just continue so two times three over four times five. Now, can you do this? So two times three is うんふん。I think Aaron, there is an error in that. So for this, we already discussed that four and three is not a factor of each other, right? Yeah, so we should no longer do this anymore. So, oh no, what happened? Three. Okay, let's go. Three. So since four and three is not a factor, we will not continue with this anymore. We will not continue. We will just continue with just two times three is equals to six, and then four times five. How much is four times five?
20.
20, exactly. So yeah, so the error in here, Aaron, so whenever you solve this question, we will first find first the factors right here, and then we continue to write it here 2 times 3 and over 4 times 5. So the problem, what you did earlier, like this, 4 times 3. So 4 and 3 is not, we discussed it earlier that 4, for example, 4, 4, 1, 2. 3 is not included, right? So we will not do this anymore. We will not just cancel it because 3 is not part of 4. So another problem, mm, how about this? 1/2 times 1/3. So how about this? Can you solve this, Aaron? Uh, but it's still
error.
Yeah, there's an error. So let's unlearn your habit first. So let's unlearn. So I will teach you a different way in solving problems like this. So Aaron, I want you to forget first what you've learned. Let's start from the beginning. So we have this, right? One half multiplied by one half. So your first instinct or your first or what you usually do is they do this right like that and like that. So I want you to unlearn that and let's start from the beginning. So whenever we solve problems like this, we do not do this. So we should unlearn it. This we do not do that anymore. So what we should do first is copy this numerator. You know what numerator and denominator is, by the way, Aaron, right? Okay. So this is what we call as numerator. And the one below is called a denominator. So I will write it down. So in a fraction, so like this, the one on top is called the numerator. Numerator. And the one below is called the denominator. Denominator. So yeah. Do you know that already, Aaron? Or okay, very good. So very smart. Like that. Next. So we want to unlearn what you did. So to unlearn, we need to learn it a new different style in solving this. So we will first copy this one and one. Another is two and five, right? So what we usually do, you actually do this again. Oh no, I deleted it like this. So what you usually do, you actually do this again, right? But in this case, I want you to unlearn that. Do not do that anymore. So we just solve it on our, is this five or was this three? I think this was three. Yeah, this was three. Yeah, three. So when we do this, we just multiply this one times one, one, and then two times three is just five. So I want you to do so I want you to do this. I want you to unlearn everything and do this type of equation instead. So here and one fifth times two two thirds. So I want you to do that and do not do this anymore. Do not. Just answer it as is. Do not do that anymore. Just answer it as the multiplication, just like what we did here. Okay. Yes, very good. Five. Just copy one and two. Okay, that's very good. Yes, very good. That's actually that is now the correct answer. So what if so you might be asking, what's the purpose of this? What's the purpose of this, right? Do you know what the purpose of this is, Aaron? No, okay. Actually, the purpose of this is so that we can transform the number into the lowest term. Do you know what lowest term is, Aaron? Yet also. So I will teach you what is the lowest term. So, for example, we have 2/4. 2/4. This is a fraction, right? But I will tell you, just answer yes or no. Just guess. There's no correct or wrong answer. Is this the lowest term yet or not yet?
Yes.
Yes. However, not yet. So the lowest term is, let's just say, the most basic form or the most simple term or the most simple form a fraction can have. So 2/4. So if we divide 2/4 by 2 and 2, it's just 2 divide 2 is 1. 4 divide 2 is 2, right? Now, for 2/4, this is zero. So, I want you to visualize this. Let's say we have a pizza. Do you like pizza, by the way? You do? Okay. Let's just say we have a pizza. And let's just say 2/4. So we have this. We have 2/4. Since we have 2/4, so let's just say we have 4 slices of pizza. And when we say 2/4, so 2 out of 4. So we have this slice. Let's just say 2/4 is yours. So 2 out of 4 is yours. So like that. But can you see that this is the same with just this 1/2? Can you visualize it? So let's just say you have 4 slices of pizza. Like a pizza is, let's just say a pizza is divided into 4. However, you were given 2 slices of the pizza. So it means since we have only 4 slices of pizza and you have two, it means you have 1/2 of the pizza, right? Exactly. So that is the lowest term because 2/4 and 1/2 are the same. Do you get it, Aaron, or a bit? It's a bit confusing.
It's a bit confused.
A bit confusing. So let's just say another visualization part. Let's say that. Hmm, by the way, Aaron, what's your favorite food right now? Do you like cake? Do you like cakes or not so?
Yes, I like it.
Cakes, exactly. So let's make another example. So let's say we have a square. Do you know that there is a square cake, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's just say this is a cake. You like ube? Ube cake. Do you know what ube is? The purple one? Let's just say. So this is an ube cake. And let's just say, um, your school has a party, right? And then your teacher divided the cake into parts. This, this, and this, and this. Oh, this. So how many slices are there? One, two,
8 slices.
8 slices. So there are 8 slices. So there are 8 slices out of 8 slices, right? Now, your teacher gave 2 slices to your to you. So your teacher gave 2 slices to you. So how many slices would you have? So your teacher gave you 2 slices. So you now have 2 slices out of 8 slices. Exactly. Now, if your teacher gave 2 slices to you, how many slices are left in there? There's just 6 slices, right? 6 out of 8 slices are left. Now your teacher gave another let's just see how many 2, 8. Your teacher gave another 2 slices to your classmate. So how many slices does your teacher have now? If he gave another two,
4.
4 slices. So he gave he gave 4 slices in total, and he has 4 left. So we have 4 slices. So in total, which he gave, and another 4 which he is left with. However, it's 4 and 8. So is 4 half of 8, Aaron, or not yet?
Not yet.
Yes, it is. Because we have 8 slices, right? So we have we have 8 slices. We give 4, and he is left with 4. Is this half already or not yet? So we have 4 slices for your teacher and 4 slices for you. So it's already half. So your teacher has half, and you also gave half. So 4/8 is equal to just 1/2. So lowest term technically means that it's most simple or lowest number which have the same value. So do we understand what lowest term is or not yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Find another problem. How about a different method? Not the visualization part. How about this? We go back to this. So how about 6 and 4? Okay. 4 and 6. Now, so we have 4 and 6. But in order to transform this into its lowest form, we need to divide it. So a number, we need to divide it to a specific number, right? 4 and 6. Now, between 4 and 6, let me erase this for a while. Between 4 and 6, what numbers do you think are the same in here?
Where
4 and 6.
where is it?
Yeah. What numbers do you think they have the same? Numbers that they have the same.
One,
1. And then, are there bigger number than 1?
two,
2? Now, are there bigger number than 2 or not anymore? Not anymore. So, 2 is the biggest number that we have read between 4 and 6. So, we will divide 4 and 6 by 2 out of 2. Now, 4 divide 2, how much, how much is that, Aaron? 4 divide 2. It's 4 divide 2, so 4. We have, let's visualize it again. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We divide it into 2 sets. We have divided into 2 sets. So how many sets do we have? We have 2, right? Yeah. So 4 divide 2 is just 2. Now 6 divide 2.
6 divided 3.
3. Yes, very good. So for 4 over 6, this is its lowest term or its most simple form. So that's what lowest term is. Its most simple form. Now let's have another example. Some an example that just from here. Let's just say, okay, this 3 over 6. Now for 3 and 6, 6 and 3. What number what number do they have which is the same?
2 and 1.
2 and 1, right? But between 2 and 1, which is bigger, 2 or 1?
2.
2, exactly. So we will use 2 again. Divide 2. 2. And 3. 3, 3, 3. No, not 2.
Not
3.
2.
3, 3.
Oh,
Yeah, I think 3. So, yeah. So 3 divide 3.
2 divided 3 is 1.
Yes, 1. And 6 divide 3 is 2. Yes, very good. So that is the lowest term. Now, since we're done with the lowest term or we know what lowest term is, we will continue to our topic again. So we have 1/2 times what number? 1/2 times, let's just say 2, 4. Now, can you solve this? Oh, wow. Can you solve this for me?
Oh,
Okay. Yes. And just continue. Yes, very good. Now, for 8 and 2, so for 8 and 2, we can transform this into lowest term. Yes, we can. So, what number between 8 and 2 can we divide to each other that are the same? So,
4.
4 is 4. Can we divide 2 by 4? Or it's too big?
I think it's too big.
Too big. So, how about give another number? Can it 1? Yeah. 1 is right, but I think there's a bigger number than 1.
2.
2. Yes, exactly. Because we can divide 2 by 2 and 8 by 2, right? So if we divide this by 2 and 2, we will now have what is our final answer? If 2 by 2 is just 1, and 8 by 2 is just 4. So for this problem, this is the final answer. Is it a bit clear now or a bit confusing or need more
A bit confusing.
another example? Okay. How about this? Let's think of a number. This 4 out of 5 times 1/3. I want you to solve this error. That's right. And then just continue. Very good. And yes. So, do you think we can transform this into the lowest term or not? And very good. You're actually right. So yeah, you actually no, you're very smart, Aaron. You got it on less than an hour. Do you understand it now or more example?
I understand it.
I understand now. Okay, let's test that. Mm, Give me a number less than 10.
5.
5? Okay, 5. Another number less than 10, but bigger than 5.
8.
8. Okay. Now, another. A number less than 5.
Uh, 2.
2. Okay, 2. Now, how about a number bigger than 2?
4.
4. Okay. Now, I want you to solve. That's right. Mhm. And then, and then, yes. Wow. Yeah, that's nice. Yes. Now, can we transform this into low? Yes. Wow. Yeah, actually, we can. So, what do you think? What number can we divide to make it smaller?
2.
What number can we divide to make this smaller? So, how about we try 2 first? Can we try 2? So, whenever you're in doubt, you can always try 2. And if 2 is not enough, we can try 3. And if it's not enough more, we can go on to 4. So, right now, let's try with 2. Okay. So, so let's try with 2 first. 2. So 10 divide 2. How much would that be? 10 divide 2. Oh, this is 2 also. So 10 divide 2 is
5.
5. How about 32 divide 2? Is that too big?
Yeah, it's too big.
Too big. So it's okay. So do you know how to do this? Long division with this? Are you familiar with this?
Yes.
Okay, so let's try to solve it using that. So 3, okay, that's very good. 1, then that. Okay, very good. Then this. Yes. So 32 divide 2 is 16. Yes, it's actually right. So 32 divide 2 is just 16. So we copy 16 here. Is this the lowest term? Can we divide it further? What number could we divide? Can we divide it by 2? 5? 5 and 2? I don't think we can divide 2. How about 3? Can we divide 3? No. 5 divide 3 is not a whole number anymore. How about 4? 4, 5 divide
Uh,
4
I
still not
think
yet. Yet, because 5 divide 4 is not a whole number. But we can divide 16 though. 16 divide 4 is 4. But we cannot divide 5 by 4 because the number we need to use could be divided by both the top and in the bottom. So, how about 5? We can
5.
use 5 here, but we cannot use 5 here anymore. So, we're out of numbers already, right? We can use 6, but it's just the same with 6 and 2. So, by the way, Aaron, if you want to test if it could be divided by more numbers, just use 2, 3, 4, and 5. The moment it cannot be divided by these numbers, it means that we cannot divide it further. So this is its final form. This is the lowest term. That's all. 5 over 16. Or, so this is the final answer. Or we could just use the old method, what you did. So we have 5 times 2, 8 times 4. We cancel this. 1. So this 4. We have 5 and 16. So it's the same. But for for what you want, but for you to have less errors, I want you to do this only and then just divide it. Because I have a feeling that you might get a lot of errors when you do this. So I want you to focus more. I want you to unlearn this habit first and then focus on this new one I have taught so that you can get less errors. Because the most this is the original or this is the most basic and this is what you call the shortcut. So yeah. Did you understand our topic today, Aaron, or was there something confusing?
There's a little bit confusing.
Yeah. So maybe next week, we're almost done. Maybe next week we can talk about the part where you find it more confusing. And then maybe we can learn, let's just say, a more advanced or a way to differentiate these two. The one I thought you know, no, nawala na siya. Nawala na siya. Wala pa. Nato ko na mag-next meeting, magpuan sabi niya, okay, okay, bye-bye. Oh my gosh. Okay. 11.